With the extremely tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman on August 28th, we wanted to make sure that we were doing our part as part of the community and the Assemble community, that we do every little minor thing to honor the man's memory and make sure that we show our appreciation for the work that he did, not only in the Marvel films, but also for all of his work across the film industry and his contributions as a human being. It's extremely sad that we lose such an important figure, and specifically within the fun Marvel cinematic universe that we all love and appreciate. Chadwick brought a personal touch to the Black Panther character. A Black Panther character that, for me personally, I never had much investment in and really took any appreciation from the comic books, and really thought that I saw him as a main character, especially in in their own movie. I never would have imagined that when we look back at the rollout for the Marvel movies and the timeline, and looking that there was going to be a Black Panther movie, a standalone movie. Seeing Chadwick go through the role from Civil War for the appearances in there, the Black Panther film itself, Infinity War, Endgame, he himself as an actor brought the character to life and was able to show us a really strong depth and range within the character, and brought Black Panther to life and brought in new audiences across the globe. So we do our little part here, as minor as it is. We are doing an unboxing today, and I am very excited to be able to do it with you, but we wanted to be able to make sure that we were doing our little part. So we are going to unbox and review the Diamond Select statue of Black Panther, and that episode starts right now. It is a great day on the internet, everybody. Welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt, and today, oh yes we are unboxing and reviewing the Diamond Select PVC diorama from the Marvel Gallery, the Black Panther statue. I've been wanting to get my hands on a Black Panther statue for quite a while now, because I wanted to make sure that I was kind of building out that MCU universe and making sure that I was able to really build up my statue collection, because I feel like I gotta be able to do a little bit more, don't you? We gotta be able to expand this thing and make it a little bit better. Come on, let's go. We're gonna talk today about the things that I really like about this statue and some of the criticisms that I do have specifically with it. And let's talk a little bit more about the MCU while we're at it, shall we? This month long, for September, it is all about the MCU. It is all about Marvel's Avengers, the video game, which I'm very excited about. Make sure you check out our other episodes with our Top Shelf Tuesday that we just aired, talking about the Marvel's Avengers video game and how we actually rank those characters within the game itself, and check out all of our other unboxings. So for right now, let's go ahead and talk about Black Panther. First thing we're gonna do, guys, we gotta talk about first impressions, overall impressions right now. So the PVC diorama of the Black Panther is really an interesting piece, actually. This statue comes in at about $50 Canadian, and you're getting quite a bit here. This is a heavy piece, guys. When I'm actually holding this in my hands, it's got some weight and some heft to it, and the Black Panther molding and statue himself, pretty cool. You're getting a really, really good sized Black Panther here, and there's a ton of color and there's a ton of detail. We've got Black Panther standing and jumping over a broken down car with the tire and the flames going over it, and Black Panther is making a giant leap over top of the car, and you're getting a ton of detail when it comes to the flame. You're getting Black Panther himself with a really good paint job when it comes to the purple and the black. So I've had this statue now for a couple of days, and looking at it and eyeing it over, my first initial impressions were, it's okay. I wasn't really in love with it, but I've had it for a little while now, and a couple of days have gone by, and I've thought it over, and I've been looking at it more closely. I actually do quite like it, and I like it for really the overall size of it, for what I'm getting for the dollar. Now, I want to be able to talk a little bit more about the color that we have with this statue. So Black Panther is coming in with a nice purple and black paint job all the way around. And really, guys, this is where I'm going to give Diamond Select a little bit of credit, because I do like how the paint actually turned out. I don't have any bleeding with the paint. It's really consistent across the board. You've got even the detail of the silver paint across his legs as well as his hands and his claws. Like, they did a really good job of actually putting this together, and his face is probably the hero of this, where you're getting a good detail when it comes to you know, kind of the design around the ears, the paint of the purple that's going around his mask. Overall, I think the paint on the actual statue figure of Black Panther turned out quite well. The car itself is where I'm gonna have a little bit of issue with. I like that we're getting Black Panther jumping over something. It's a nice contrast from having just a typical statue of just them stand alone. And I've seen some of those for Black Panther out there, and they're totally fine if that's what you were looking for. But I wanted something a little bit more dynamic, and this did catch my eye when I was ordering it. What I don't really like is just kind of the plastic molding when it comes to the flames. I understand that they're trying to go for like a really big fire for this car that's broken down, but I find that the flames are really, really big and bulky plastic. It's a thick mold, and I wish that they did a little bit more detail and they took a little bit more attention to detail when it comes to the actual breakdown of the car. This is where I do knock a little bit of points off of it, guys, because I don't really like the sculpting around the vehicle. I felt like it was a little bit rushed. I wasn't really keen on this piece because when it comes to the car molding, it just doesn't look like it was really given a lot of detail and care. I feel like it was kind of an afterthought. They wanted to make sure they highlight Black Panther, which is awesome, but I think that they could have done a little bit better when it came to actually doing that molding of the car. The car itself, again, you're getting the breakdown of the tire, the molding is there, you're getting the fire and the flames that wrap all the way around, which is kind of cool, and you're getting Black Panther, again, his hand jumping over it, but it's the attention to detail with the car. Like, you have the yellow of the windows, which I guess they're trying to highlight that it's on fire. I found that it was a little bit bent when it came to the actual flames and like the plastic mold around the fire and the windows. Like, the tailpipe is okay. I just find that the car molding itself is kind of okay. It's nothing really to write home about when it comes to the actual car design. I wish they did a little bit more. Okay, so we obviously have no articulation because we are having a statue here. With the statue and Black Panther himself, let's talk about Black Panther. If we look at Black Panther within this, I think it's doing a good representation of the MCU Black Panther that we got with Chadwick Boseman. And I feel like when we talk about Black Panther, there's so many iconic moments, whether it's going to be from the Black Panther film itself, the scenes that he had within Civil War, those are really memorable. I love seeing like just the speed of Black Panther and him running next to Captain America, and just seeing him, the dynamic in Wakanda, and the characters and the actors that played these roles, everything was done so well. And Black Panther has actually grown on me because you're getting so much more of a backstory. And this is what the MCU films always do really well, in my opinion, is that you feel like they flesh out these characters and they get you to care. You care about Black Panther as a character. You care about his role within the MCU. I love his skill set. I love the use of Black Panther's powers. And when you see it in Infinity War, when you see it in Endgame, that's when it really stands out to me, just how powerful the character is. Now, when it comes to this statue, and I'm looking at Black Panther, some of the criticisms I do have with it is that, again, on the back, so the paint I said was fine. I do agree that it's okay. Some of the silver trim that is supposed to be around, I guess, like his belt or around his waist, I wish that they took a little bit more time to get that detail in there. And I do wish that we kind of had a little bit darker paint when it came to the black. There's a good shine when it comes around to the front, but as I rotate him around and I look towards his back and his thighs and his legs, I feel like it's almost kind of, it's black and it's a little bit brown, and it depends on where you hit it in the light, where the coloring can either look pretty good from a distance, but up close, I find I have a few problems when it comes to the overall paint and the aesthetics of that. And ladies and sirs, if you are new to the show, I'd love it if you guys would be able to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. September is all MCU and Marvel's Avengers, so that's why we are doing this entire theme all September long, and we are doing our 200 sub push. So I would absolutely love it if you go ahead, subscribe right now, hit the notification bell so you get updates on 3 shows that we do every single week here on Assemble. And we would love it if you guys would go into the comments and tell me, what do you think of this statue? Who do you love playing in the Marvel's Avengers video game right now? now? And what are some of the things that you love and maybe don't like about this statue specifically? Let me know. When I come back to Black Panther's face sculpting and the design there are some things, again, that I like and I don't like, and I want to be able to highlight them a little bit more. For the statue that I got, I find that I've got a little bit of scuffs around the mask, and I wish that the eyes were a little bit more dynamic. The size and the scale of Black Panther is pretty good. When you look at the mask very, very closely, they have almost a mouth design and a mouth sculpt of just a single line that's covering his face, and he's got like this frown. And I wish that they made it a little bit more prominent where like his face was detailed a little bit more. So would I recommend that you pick up the Black Panther statue from Diamond Select? I would if you actually feel like you need to be able to add to a Black Panther to your collection. There are a lot of them that are out there right now. I mean, we can go really, really high and get into things like Hot Toys because those are absolutely outstanding. This is coming in at about $50 Canadian, like I said. So if you feel like you want to be able to get something that's on a budget, then this might work for you. If you want to be able to just have a Black Panther that's just not a regular toy and you want to get more of a statue, this one I would probably say you should probably take a look at. However, I do have some gripes with it. I wish that they'd spend a little bit more time for the detail because I've had action figures that have more detail in them that cost $20, $30. You are getting a little bit more when it comes to this statue because you are getting this big heavy base of the car, but the car design should have been a little bit more detailed. I do like how the action pose for Black Panther, so if you do like that, it does look pretty cool. But I wish they did a little bit more and they paid a little more attention to the design and detail of this overall. It's hard to recommend this one specifically if you do have some other options in line, but if you have a budget and you're trying to stay under $100, you could go for something like this. I would definitely take a look at some of the action figures from Marvel's Legends to see if there's something there. But if you really were interested in a statue, it's not a bad place to start. Anyways, guys, that wraps up this week's episode of our unboxings and doing our Black Panther. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you can, check us out on Twitter. Go over to assemble_show. Head over to Instagram, go to Assemble Show on Instagram so you can connect with us there. Let us know some of your favorite MCU moments when it comes to Black Panther. Let us know what was kind of the most impactful moments for you with Chadwick Boseman and his portrayal of Black Panther. He's really going to be missed. I really wish that we had more time to experience him in all of the films. I'm curious if they are going to do the Black Panther 2 and how that will come to be, but he's a individual that is going to be sorely missed for not only for the MCU movies and what he did for us as movie fans and Marvel fans, but what he did and his impact on the world. Thanks so much for joining us, and as always, thank you for assembling with us. See ya.